Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio on this fair Friday. Joining myself, Foxy, on the panel tonight is the one and only Bridgeman and the legend is Big Stevie. How we doing, gentlemen?
Good evening, Oxford. How you doing, pal? How's old pal Bridgeman?
Oh, good evening to you two guys. Absolutely brilliant to hear you. Can I say a big good evening to you guys, a big good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How we doing, Big Stevie?
Brand new, Ox, brand new. Just enjoying all the new talk, chat and training sessions, all the videos about my team starting to get back into it again. The old engines slowly but surely revving up again.
Yeah, and obviously there's going to be 2,000 fans in there tomorrow, and I know that a lot of players not happy because they can't get in, but the people will be there. I hope they enjoy it. I hope they all stay safe. But I'm hearing Mr. S. Skipper, Bridgeman.
Yeah.
He told me that Butterbean, he actually failed the lateral flow test today. Yes. Because he was,
Butterbean.
Instead of being blown, he was sucking. So he's got it mixed up as you know. So hopefully he get that sorted and get himself in there tomorrow, but he failed it because he was doing the right action. Not the first time in his life he's done that, I believe. But there you go. Anyway, we're building up to a big glamour tie tomorrow. Friendly at Arsenal. Great history between the two clubs. And Fashion Sakala walked in, and Fashion Sakala Jr., Big Stevie, to give him his title, walked in the door yesterday. Where do you see him featuring? Sort of outside right, centre forward? Would that be positions, mate?
Aye, I would say so. I watched the wee clip of him walking into the trophy room, and my God, the guy was totally blown away. You could see it in his face. He just walked in, it was wow, and then he puffed his cheeks out. No, unbelievable. I think the guy's living a dream here. He can't believe what's happening with him, and he doesn't believe how big it was. In his wee interview, he was saying, but I think that's where he'll be playing, Ox. And look, I can't wait to see him in a blue shirt. And regarding Arsenal, I mean, my dad took me. I mean,
well, one thing at a time, and the show will be finished by 8:05, right? Just calm down.
Yeah, right.
Right, that's the show done, Bridgeman.
I'm excited for the Bears.
Right. Bridgeman, we've got Fashion Sakala. Do you want to hear from him?
That would do me just fine, pal. Let's hear him, see what he's got to say.
We'll do Fashion Sakala first, then let's hear from him and see what kind of impression he leaves on us. So get yourself in mute and let's hear for our latest signing.
With the club and a bit of a wait for you to get here, but how excited are you now to be in Glasgow?
Yeah, I'm very happy and excited. I was looking forward to start this beautiful journey. Yeah, when I signed, the only thing that I wanted was to be here, and I've made it now. I'm here. I'm very happy and excited. I'm looking forward to continue with the beautiful and exciting journey. Yeah.
And you've been in today doing some testing for pre-season. How much are you looking forward to getting started?
Yeah, I can't wait to start tomorrow. I was, I think, on vacation for some days, weeks, and I came here and I was in quarantine for 10 days. So, it was quite difficult, but I was very positive about it. I'm still looking forward to get back to full fitness. And I believe that as I've started today alone, because today I was doing it in video training. So I'm looking forward to start with the group, and I believe that something good will come out of it.
And what were your first impressions of the training centre and the facilities there?
Wow. Yeah, I think I tried to check everything before I came here, but, on TV, it's not the same. And what I've seen is more than my imaginations. Yeah, it's massive. I feel like now I have started football. I feel like, I don't know how I can say it, but I'm very excited and I'm very happy. I'm very impressed and happy. When I went to the training center, the most important thing was the people I found there, how they welcomed me. Everyone was just smiling, so that was a very great message for me that, okay, I think I'm part of this club. Yeah.
And there's so much support here for players to improve, not only as part of the squad, but as an individual. Is that something you're hoping to benefit from too?
Yeah, obviously, I always try to get better and better. I don't like to relax. It's always nice to improve as an individual and also to contribute something to the team that will help to keep winning. Yeah, so I always put pressure on myself. I'm not the type of a person who like to blame others. Yeah, when I fail, I always put something on me and say I have to work hard to get something that the fans want and the club.
Mm-hmm. And you touched on you were individual today, but how much are you looking forward to meeting the rest of your teammates and the coaching staff here?
Yeah, that's the most exciting part. I was doing it alone today, but I was just thinking about tomorrow when I'll meet the whole group for the players. That's what I'm looking forward to, and I know that it will be very nice to meet them in person. When I came here, players were texting me when I was at the hotel. They were sending messages to me, welcoming me. That was very nice. And also people from the club, they were talking to me every day. I wasn't bored at all. So meeting them in person tomorrow, it will be very nice, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited. Yeah.
And in particular, your fellow strikers and attacking players, how much are you looking forward to building relationships with them, both on and off the pitch?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to have a very good relationship with players. So some people, they always take it in a different way, like I'm here to compete with my fellow strikers, but I'm not here to compete with them. I'm here to play with them and keep winning. So this is what I believe, and I'm looking forward to have a very good relationship with them, and I know that I'll learn a lot from them and become a better person and a better player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we are here now at Ibrox. It's your first time at the stadium. What have you made of it?
Wow, it's amazing to be here. It's very nice to be here. I tried to check all the pictures and I watched the games, but it's not the same. What we see on TV is different, like to see it in person. It's massive. It's massive. I mean, like I said, I feel like it's time to start playing football now. Yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very happy to make this step to be here and start playing each and every week in such a beautiful stadium with a great history. Yeah.
How excited are you to play here in front of the fans as well?
Yeah, I'm very much excited. This is what I'm looking forward to. It's always nice to have fans in the stadium. This is why we always say football is for the fans. Yeah, it's always nice to play with fans. And I've watched a couple of games, like before the COVID. I was checking some past games, and there is a great atmosphere here with the fans. It's amazing. This club, is loved, and it's a club for the people. So I'm looking forward to playing in the front of the fans, and I'm looking forward to the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's only a few weeks now until the start of the league season. There's a few friendly fixtures before that, and a lot of hard work to come, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is time to push myself. I know the team started pre-season a long time ago. I think it's 2 weeks or something. Yeah, so I missed everything. But I know that I still have the chance. I have to push myself every day and know that I have a lot to contribute to the team. Yeah, so I'll be pushing myself while fitting into the team. So I have to make sure that I settle down quickly and be part of the squad as fast as I can.
Wow.
That's my words exactly. Wow. A lovely speaker.
Yes. I think English is the first language in Zimbabwe. I think so, Bridge. You've been in that
Rhodesia. That's Rhodesia, yeah. That was the first language.
Aye. So, impressive young man, Stevie. Humble. And we'll see when he starts playing football. Stevie?
Yep, 100%. He sounds very humble. He sounds a nice guy. Fair play to all the
players. He reminds me a lot of myself, mate, when I was listening to him, to be honest.
I'll be right. Definition of character, lads. 100%, mate. He sounds a nice guy, and fair play to Rangers, the way they brought him in. All the players texting the boy when he was in the hotel and that, when he couldn't join him right away. And look, he just seems to be now. He's loved it. He's got the bug, and he wants to start. He wants to get into it. You heard him there. I just want to play football now. He's just wanting to prove himself, probably, the boy. Well, let's see what he brings. He looks good. The snippets I've seen, just let's see what he brings. Can't wait to see him.
Bridgman?
Very. Well, already said as well as speaks now. Yeah, desperately keen to see him. Want to make a difference. That's a whole hope for him. To make that wee bit difference where the manager will just say, this boy's for us. And as I said, he's missed the full start of the pre-season stuff. and he's got to catch up on that, and he'll get there. He'll get there. But he might not make the European game, for instance, because he might not be fit enough. But he'll get there. I'm sure of it. He'll be getting tore into doing whatever he can, you know. As long as you're not having to sit about the house and do nothing, that's the main thing.
No, I think we spend a lot of time training, mate. I think we might see him next weekend, one of the games, mate.
Well, that'd be good, aye. Great to see him, you know.
I think really good. Maybe get half an hour or something. And I liked his quote, "A club for the people." Maybe we are the people there, Stevie.
He's learning quick. That maybe Jimmy Bell, he'll be right into him right away. So
he's really, really good. It sounds really nice. And look, the Bears will take to him. That's for sure. They'll take to him. And they're really interesting to see him.
I don't know if Fergie's picked up the wee bit where he says he was training himself. He can't wait to meet the players. I mean, that's Rangers. Rangers have got the boy and they've said, look, we'll see where your fitness is at. And they've given him a good run out the day, you know, or yesterday, and we'll see where it takes him. He's meeting the players a day, would it be? Or is it tomorrow he's meeting the players? It won't be tomorrow, obviously, but again, it would have been the day then. So, aye, listen, the boy's engine's gone. He's blew away. He's living a dream. and let's see where it takes us,
Every signing is a gamble, you know. And even signing a player at Swiggy and giving him an extension, that's a gamble. That's the nature of the game, Bridgeman, isn't it? Forearm injuries. It's just only time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, well, I would imagine that we've all played football of some description, and you know what it's like when you've been away on holiday at any time, and you come back and somebody says you want a wee kickabout, you know, even if it's in the street. My God, your legs are hanging off you before long. And that's what he's got to get into, to go in there and do what he's got to do himself, you know, to get some running, get him used to it, get his body used to it, and then he'll pick up when the players come back. Is it tomorrow the boys come back, or is it tomorrow or Sunday?
What's that?
Oh, they're back for the
big game,
the Arsenal game, yeah, of course.
We're going to have to drug test you before.
No, he'll not be after the show. But the players will not be there. They'll be away in a hotel somewhere. That's what it'll be.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. No, you don't know what the regime is for a friendly game. They might be at their house, and I believe it's a 2:00 kick-off for it.
2:00, yes.
So you don't know, Bridge. They might not be at a hotel for this, but they might be. You never know. They maybe do the same things that they do for a normal league game to build up the habits. But good luck to Fashion Sakala, and I hope it works out for him. The Glasgow Rangers, and I see him playing in that role where Hadji and Roof have played at times, joining in with the centre forward, and maybe he'll move into centre forward at times. I think that's his position, Stevie.
Aye, I totally agree. The snippets that I seen, you know, he can pick a pass out just like Hadji and stuff like that, and he can also hit a ball, so I would reckon that's where he would probably fit in best. But we've got strength and depth now, and so we have. So I just can't.
I think we actually, big man. I think we actually need some bodies out now, and I'm talking about fringe players. Yeah.
Oh, aye, I totally agree. But as
I'm hearing a rumour. I'm no one for spreading rumours, as you know, but I'm hearing that Andy Firth signed a 10-year contract.
Nice one.
What a by the way, what a few years that boy's had.
He could have gave one of us that job, couldn't he?
Oh, unbelievable. By the way, see, I mean, he has a big blue nose, but my God, man, he's been everywhere with the Rangers, winning trophy everywhere. And what a time the boy's had. Fair play to him, you know, he's fully lapped it up. Every time you see him, he's singing, dancing, stamping his feet, clapping. He's just loving it. 40s took. Brilliant. Fair play to the big man.
And by the way, listen, mate, I know you'll not mind me saying this, some of the good deeds you do for people, but I've got to take my hat off to you today, mate. The fact that you gave Tom Stallman your shirt to wear at Ibrox.
By the way, he's a big
Very good. Very good.
That's terrible. Don't encourage him, Bridgeman. Don't encourage him. I'm a him now. I've lost a couple of pun during COVID there. I've cut myself down to 1 curry a day. Well done to Big Tom Stolman, by the way. I know you've mentioned it before, but I seen the snippet today where I'm in the trophy room and the wee interview and that. And by the way, he done that for his wee mammy. His wee mammy passed away and he promised her he would do it and he done it. And by the way, it's one of our own Rangers Radio, you know, so absolutely fantastic. So brilliant. Well done, the big man.
Here. He's always positive about our club, Bridgeman. Always, even when they're speaking to him off air, you could tell that he just Rangers, you know, superb when he was on the show.
It's actually lovely to hear people like that, you know. And you could sort of easily get to know these people because they think the same and feel they seem to think the same and feel the same as us, which is difficult because we're a shower of rogues, really, you know. But no, we all love the Rangers, that's for sure. We love the Rangers. And I'm raging I never get picked for that, never got a ticket for that. For tomorrow's game. Never mind.
What are you going to say, Stevie?
I was just going to say, I do believe they're parading him tomorrow. He's
there. He's hospitality. I think he's got a hospitality table to himself for the grub he eats for his training, mate, you know, when he told us. So. But he's there tomorrow, guest of the club, and he enjoys it, mate. He's a positive message for our club, mate. He's always on Twitter talking about it with the following he's got now worldwide, talking about the club, his love for the club, what the club do. What a man, and congratulations, and no pun intended, but more power to his elbow.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something, though. See when you really sit back and think about what that big guy's done, and he's a blue nose. Wow, how proud of we all should be him.
Yeah.
He's the world's strongest man. Aye, that's including America and Russia. He's the world's strongest man, and he's a bear. Absolutely fantastic, by the way. Brilliant. Well done.
Aye, you're right, mate. You're right. So he'll be there tomorrow, and he's going to. And also, we're in Gordon Reid, the tennis player. I think he won. He done well at Wimbledon again, didn't he? You know, so he never hides his love for the club. So
that's great. It's about time all our celebrities come out and stated what they are, you know. But anyway, listen, Big Tom Stolman, by the way, they can't give him a normal plate up in that hospitality, surely.
No chance. Oh, no be a la carte anyway, that's for sure.
You're no kidding, man.
You need a cart. The size of him. You need a house out, that's for sure.
Brilliant. All right, okay. Get yourself a mute and we'll see if people want to join us. We'll start building up to the Morris friendly. Start talking about the history between Rangers and Arsenal, which, I mean, Bridge was obviously the first game, 1892, but the rest is a bit later, you know what I mean? Get yourself in mute and let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, it's a tie, the Mora that I think when people asked when we talked maybe a year or maybe 2 years ago, I can't remember now, when we talked about who should we get for the tie for 150th games. Arsenal were mentioned and Real Madrid were mentioned, Stevie. And lo and behold, within a week, the two of them are going to be playing at Ibrox against their club.
Absolutely brilliant, isn't it, Ox? Real Madrid and Arsenal. Unbelievable ties. And we can't get blooming in to see it. Unbelievable. I'll need to get the all high vis, the white shirt, the black tie, the one jacket fits all and try to sneak in again.
Big one jacket fits all. Very good. Very good.
Quiet. But no, honestly, it's glamour stuff, innit? I mean, and as I was going to say earlier on, my dad always told me, like, Rangers and Arsenal, two great institutions, always used to play each other pre-season, and he told me about the Bears actually saved Arsenal, and I didn't believe some of the stuff, but it's actually quite true. Rangers and Arsenal.
1908, Woolwich Arsenal was about it. 1910, they were in trouble, mate, and they tried to launch a share issue. I read some of it today, and it failed because of the economic climate. Sounds familiar? And they had the problems, their attendances were falling down, and at the time, Chelsea and Spurs may try to sneak in and buy the Arsenal, and Rangers come in and they played them, and they bought some shares. Very little value, but it was a catalyst to take them to the springboard. So that wasn't the start of the relationship. It happened in the previous century, as I said, 1892. But a lot of people think it was when the relationship between Bill Struth and Herbert Chapman, but it was long before that we started. And obviously the similarities between the stadiums, Bridgeman, with the marble halls, the marble staircases, we call it. So there's a lot of similarities between the clubs. And we played many great games, and they played their centenary game when they came to Ibrox in 1973 and beat us 2-1 when Derek Parlin scored for the Rangers. So the history between the two clubs is long and distinguished. Bridgeman?
Yeah, no, I'm fascinated to hear you saying the stadium and so on and so forth, and the marble stairway. I wonder if that's the kind of thing that they've maybe kept, from the old Highbury to the new.
It's still there, mate. It's still there with the development as the marble halls, as they called it. It's still there at the entrance into the. To be fair, it's like getting into your close. That's what it's like when you go into that one.
What a shocker! What a shocker you are, boy.
As they are.
No, I just wondered if they've incorporated
the facade's still there when the flats are built. Yeah. When the flats are built with the old Highbury, mate. Yeah. So the marble halls is still part of that building, yeah.
But I'm just wondering, with their new stadium, they won't have anything that would link back other than those marble halls.
That's still there. The marble halls is in the old building.
In the old building, I'm saying that.
Yeah, it's still there.
Do they still own that in any way, shape, or form? No. Okay.
No. Yeah,
because it's history, and sometimes it's good to incorporate the old history into the new. And I hope that's the kind of thing Rangers are going to do when they end up with their new museum. They retain some of the old history, That's what I'm hoping, anyway.
I would like to think so, mate. If it's not historic, I don't know if it'll be called a museum.
Am I right or am I wrong here? Is it an Archibald Leitch design? The old Highbury, was that Archibald Leitch, the guy at Dunure main stand?
I think so, mate. I never checked it out today, but I'm assuming because of the similarities, yeah. He designed a lot of stadiums at the time, Fulham's, Everton's, yeah. So he was a guy that was a bit there, and he was the most modern designer of his age.
All over Europe too.
He was like Fox. He was ahead of his time,
Everton's grounds, the Archibald Leitch, isn't it? Very much the same as our main stand. I think so. And see, the other thing you were mentioning there, Rox, about the ties, did we not play Arsenal during the first floodlight game or something?
We opened their floodlights. There's a famous picture that you see here.
I've got the programme. My dad gave me the programme. I've got the programme in there. So
I think, mate, Stevie, I need to check this out. I think it was around about, I would say around about 50, 51.
It's a 52 it is. I think it's 52 Ox. I'll check that out at half time.
There's a famous picture in that game. It's absolutely mobbed, mate. Highbury, and then we played them to open their floodlights in a glamour tie. That would have been before European football, Bridge,
You're absolutely right. The late 50s European, mid to late 50s, European football started. I dare say there was some before it, but very little, But from an official perspective, the late 50s, mid to late 50s. But that's fascinating what you're saying there. So around about 52,
I think 51. I need to check that out. I'll get Stevie to check it out.
Okay.
I'll check that out at half time, guys. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll even give you the teams, right?
Okay, mate. Impressive.
You're going to tell us the teams now or after?
Oh no, I need to do my homework. Put me under pressure doing Brad, so yeah.
You think he'd have done his homework before he came on instead of waiting for his dinner turning up late?
That's right. You know, you hear a lot of excuses, but Big Stevie comes away with some crackers. I couldn't finish my dinner quickly enough. Terrible, innit? Terrible. She made me eat it.
Hey, Big Tom Stone went up for his dinner.
It's like Big Innes at the Still game. Aye. Aye.
Oh,
that's the last time I'll be phoning that Orange Rock Chinese Ox, I'll tell you.
Right, listen, obviously there's a lot of protocols anybody going to the game tomorrow, including my own Butterbean, who's got a ticket. Obviously, I've got a couple of spare, Bridge, if you're wanting to go, but obviously there's a lot of protocols, so it's not good for you, mate. Your age, it'd be too dangerous in this pandemic. I wouldn't like to put you at risk. So,
I'll take them.
There you go. That's a mate for you, Bridge.
That's one of A1's, Bridge. Somebody's lying in the deck. Has he got a ticket for the game?
What do they have in these pieces? But Bridge, just think about it. That gives you a better chance of getting the Real Madrid one. That's the one you really want, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. That's it for sure.
You know, not like we'll all get Brighton. Right, we've got something to play for the club. If you're going tomorrow, it's just for information. It's not the kind of thing we would normally play, but we think it's important. So get yourself a mute. It only lasts for a few minutes. And we'll have a message for the club.
We realise it's been a tough and challenging time for all of you over the past year with all the difficulties and hardship which COVID-19 has brought into our lives. However, we can't wait to start introducing fans back into our stadium. Everyone at Rangers has been working tirelessly alongside the Scottish Government and Glasgow City Council in order to organise your safe return to Ibrox Stadium. We need you to show patience and discipline while following the guidelines for a smooth return to our home. Please help to keep your fellow supporters safe by following government advice and do not attend the stadium if you or any member of your household has tested positive for COVID-19 in the last 10 days, or if you have been tested but are still awaiting results, or if you are experiencing any of the recognised symptoms of COVID-19. Before travelling to the stadium, you must take a lateral flow COVID-19 test and provide evidence of this being negative upon arrival. Lateral flow tests are available at most pharmacies and community hubs or online at the government website. These are free of charge. To show evidence of your test, register your results on the NHS website. You will then receive an email and text message from the NHS confirming your results. If you are unable to do this, you can bring the physical test to the stadium. Please travel to the stadium by private transport if possible, and only car share with those in your immediate family or bubble. Only those with a valid ticket will be allowed access to the stadium. Do not resell your tickets. Face masks will be mandatory within the Ibrox Stadium footprint, and we would ask you to follow the instructions of stewards and also signage at all times. Please arrive at your allocated time as stated on your instructions, which will be provided with your ticket. Go directly to your designated turnstile and follow social distancing. Whilst inside the stadium, there will be lots of changes will be adjusted to the new normal. Food concessions will not be opened and the concourse TVs will not show the live action. Please go directly to your allocated seat. A one-way system will be in operation and passageways for the seating areas will be split. Half will be for access and half will be from exit from your seat. Toilets will be open, but access will be strictly controlled by stewards. No smoking or vaping will be permitted within the stadium footprint. Whilst in the stadium's seating areas, we would ask that if you need to pass another supporter, please turn your head to face away from them. Please respect social distancing at all times and avoid celebratory hugs, handshakes or high fives with fellow supporters. Help us to maintain a safe environment as we try to bring match days back to normal. We are looking forward to seeing our fans back in attendance, even in such limited numbers, as we carry out these test events. It's only with your full support that we will be able to work towards fuller crowds as the season progresses. Welcome home to Ibrox Stadium.
Wow, it's going to be a different experience. I've just been messaged again by Mr. S. Skipper, Bridgeman. And he got a message for Butter being about the lateral flow test, and Skipper said to him, "You need to put some wind in it. I'll leave the rest to your imagination." So we a lot of things that people have to take cognizance for tomorrow, Stevie, but I'm still, once the sun's out and they get into the ground and the team runs out the tunnel, the 2,000 bears will be there, they'll be delighted, and they'll give the champions a rousing reception.
100%. Although, no matter what they need to get through to get in, once they're in, the sun's beating down, and that tune comes on every Saturday we follow. I'm no doubt the 2,000 bears will in there will make enough noise for the rest of the journey. Oxter, I've done a wee bit of fishing here for the Rangers national thing for the floodlighting. Would you like a wee rundown?
Yes, give us it, mate.
Well, it was Tuesday, the 8th of December, 1953. Kick-off, 7:15 p.m, Ibrox Stadium, Glasgow, and it was the floodlighting programme.
I was talking about the Arsenal, when we opened Arsenal's floodlights.
All right. Well, I have that one and all, so I'll have a look. I'll go in and have a wee look. But
carry on, give us the teams in 53, mate, and that'll be interesting.
Right, so here we go, 1953. By the way, it says the front price, 6D. What's that? 6D?
Bridgeman?
Sixpence. The old sixpence. 2.5p in new money. 2.5p in new money.
Deary me.
Or they called it a tanner.
You call yourself a 2.5, man. You didn't know that.
That's terrible, by the way. Right, anyway, the team that night was Brown, Young, Little, Cox, Stranners, McCall. And then it was Willie Waddle, Grierson, Simpson, Thornton, and McCulloch. That was the Rangers team that night. By the way, guys, I don't know the score. Then I do, but that was I've got the programme, my dad obviously handed down to me. So 1953, guys, 8th of December at Ibrox, 1953. 2.5 pence for the programme. And by the way, it's in mint condition. And do you know what else I found while I was in there, gentlemen? Rangers versus Real Madrid, souvenir special, September the 25th, 1963. There you go, Wednesday night. There you go. By the way, it was 1 stroke, whatever that is, Bridge. Whatever that is in money.
That'll be 1 shilling.
No, it was 10 shillings. That was a stroke. It was a shilling. It's 10 shillings to get into the game.
Right, well,
the programme would be, what, a shilling?
Oh, the programme will be a shilling, yeah. 1 shilling.
Yeah.
So there you go. I've got the 2 games. I've got the 2 programmes. Champions Club Cup. It was Real Madrid. There you go. I've got the 2 programmes sitting in front of me now. I'll give you the teams if he's back to talk about that later on in Madrid. But by the way, some history with Arsenal, guys. I mean, it's telling you there the previous 7 games we played, and you're talking about it goes away back to 1933.
No, the first game was 1892, mate.
1892,
mate, yeah.
It must have only been it's the last 7 games it's given you, so it might have been fuller games before that. All right, I take that back.
No, but they did play a lot. We played them more than any other English team, you know. And obviously we've got a connection tomorrow with Mikel Arteta. What's your memories of him as a player, Bridge?
I thought he was a marvellous player. I don't think he's as good for Rangers as he's been for other teams as he's matured. But I thought he was a great player with us. Great player. And look at him now, he's managing Arsenal, for goodness sake. Can you get much higher your career?
He had a great career, isn't it?
Indeed he did, pal.
You know, and then obviously he scored that famous penalty when we we clinched the league when we beat Dunfermline 6-1, yeah?
Yep, that was there. Jumped like a big salmon, yes. I'll tell you what, he was a technically gifted player. He wasn't a dirty player in any manner means. He was a real good fit player, wasn't he? You know, that's what I took it. You know?
He was a nice player. He played a lot of games that season. He was only ways for a short time, but I think we knew then and then he would go to bigger and better things. But I suppose he annoyed us a wee bit because he said he was homesick, went home, and then I think he signed for Arsenal quite quickly, didn't he?
You
know, but yeah, good player, and obviously went on a successful career with Arsenal, Everton, then assistant at Man City, and then he's got the Arsenal job. You know, it's there's a similarities there between Stevie Gerrard and him, young progressive managers. Stevie?
Aye, I would say so, but I just think, look, if I had to pick it by Gerrard, and I'm not saying that because he is our manager, it's just he's got that winning pedigree on him. Mm-hmm. You know, and I just don't see Arteta having the bit between his teeth the way I can see Gerrard having it between his teeth, you know.
Different steps as well on their path to where they are. I mean, he's, again, similar in the sense that they came from either youth or assistant manager jobs, you know. So the way he's came, I think we can be quite proud of some of the youngsters, young lads and young men that we've brought into Ibrox and helped to better their career. I'm speaking about Van Bronckhorst, Reno Gattuso, and that lad there, Arteta. And there's a few more, I'm quite sure. But those three ring well with me. I'm very proud to have them as players for the Rangers Football Club. I think they've been fantastic for us. Fantastic. These are world-famous players. World-famous.
Mm-hmm. And Mikel Arteta obviously signed for us as a 20-year-old. Made his debut against Kilmarnock 2002-2003 season. And obviously we drew the first game of the season 1-1. I met you. Everybody thought that was a disaster. And then he scored quite soon after that. And a 6-0 victory away to Dunfermline in the league. Scored a few goals, not that many, 14 goals. And he played a total of 67 games for his one substitute appearance. So 7 yellows, no reds. And he scored 14 goals, of 6 of which were penalties. But I suppose he'll be famous in the blue jersey for that goal he scored against Dunfermline, Stevie, and the celebration afterwards when he ran away to the Copeland Road end.
I'll always remember it. I was in the Copeland Road that day, and that's the thought when you talk about Mikel Arteta and a Rangers strip. I think he scored a goal away to Dunfermline. It was an absolute peach, if I can remember right. But that's the goal for me. It always sticks in my mind. He stepped up and put that away, and that got us league that year, and he'll always be remembered for that. You know, he's had a great career, the guy, isn't he? He really has had a good career, you know.
And it's not finished yet. From a footballing perspective, playing wise, yes. But I mean, he's with Arsenal. Who knows? Maybe he can go on to manage Italy. You just don't know, do you? Spain, you know, any of these, France, any of these countries.
Well, he's Spanish, mate.
I'm saying, but it's a type of player that would fit in. You know, I think he's just fantastic, and I rate him highly. Put it that way.
And I think the jury's out, mate, where he's going to go. Arsenal are in a strange place, but we'll see where it takes them, you know. But listen, we're only talking about the Rangers connection. And if you're out there, remember, this is a phone-in show. We know it's Fair Friday. We know it's hot. We know you're building up with the Gerneth Warner, but we need you because this is a phone-in show, Big Stevie.
100%. Come on, Bears. Get up off the couch, get the phone dialed. Come on and give us a bit of stick. That's it.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, it'll be an occasion tomorrow. First people in Ibrox, first supporters in Ibrox since the Bayer Leverkusen game. God, there's a threatening thought, Stevie.
Unbelievable. They don't know, the 2,000 Bears that are going in don't know how lucky they are. I'd love to be Ellamora. I want to give the boys the biggest clap and thank you for what they've done for us last season. They deserve every bit of it. And look, we're getting back to normality. It'll not be long now for all the other Bears that are not getting in, but the Bears that are there, Ellamora, just be thankful you are getting in, I know you are going to have to get through all the protocol, but once you are in, it'll be no problem. Give it hell for the rest of us. That's it. Happy days.
Here. And do you think it'll be less and less of our fringe players now as we start building up for 2 weeks on Saturday, 2 weeks tomorrow to the start of the season, Stevie?
I think you'll start to see after. We've got Blackpool Wednesday, and then we've got Brighton Saturday, is it? And then it's Madrid. Early games, I think you'll start to see Gerrard bringing in who he wants, the shape of the team, and who's going to be there. Your guys, what you call the boy with the funny hair, and the Fridge and Jordan Jones and them. I slowly but surely think if they're not away beforehand, they'll get back out the door and loan. I really do. People like that. But I start to see in the next coming weeks who it's going to be, who's going to be in the team, and it'll start to take some shape. See these friendlies, Ox, I emphasise this to the Bears, not to get highly strong. It's about getting minutes into legs. This is about getting the rust and the cobwebs off of players. We know what we're capable of. Let's be honest. The middle of last year, we played Tranmere when we were on that European run. We'd have beaten them about 10-0 at half time. Let's be honest. It's just one of the games. They've done the part. Van Dijk at your goal, scored a goal, and I know some of the Bears are getting highly strung. I don't want to get beaten any game. I want to win everything, even tiddlywinks, drafts. I want the Rangers to win it. But we've got to be realistic. It was a nothing game. It was to get minutes into legs.
It's all about where you end up. It's where you go with it, where you end up, how you build up. Every pre-season's like with different teams do it differently. But we'll see what it takes. I'm not concerned. I would have liked us to a 1-4-0 at Tranmere, but we didn't. But we need to get hurt, so we carry on, and we look forward to tomorrow's challenge, Bridger.
Absolutely, pal. What can you say? I think the Bears, the ones that have got tickets, I'm so jealous of them. I'm very envious of them. I would just love to be there because I was at obviously, like most of us were at the Leverkusen game. The last European game, the last game at Ibrox, I was there, and I'd love to have been there for the first one back again, but it wasn't to be. But yeah, seriously, we have got a lot to look forward to, Rangers. But one thing we need to do is we need to be there when it happens. We need to be there when we're needed. We need to be there. The players need to turn up. They good coming up and saying, "Oh, I know we won last year, but I'm a wee bit tired of now, Rubbish, get in there and do the business. That's what I want. Everybody, do the business."
I think it's important to make a good start of the season, Stevie, because I think we could, if we did get a real good start at maximum points, we could blast it. Big man.
I think you're totally right. I think we're expecting to win every game. I do want to win every game. I think this next few games, I think you'll see a different Rangers. I think that game against Tranmere was just a wee wake-up call, and I think you'll see Rangers now starting to, right, let's do it. There's guys pushing to get into the team in front of people now. So if you're not going to perform, or if you're not going to show the commitment Stevie Gerrard thinks you should be putting in, then you're not going to be there. He's telling you that himself. So you start to see a different Rangers over the next few weeks, the next few friendly games. And I want Rangers to win at everything, absolute everything. But guys, I keep emphasising, it's about getting minutes into legs. It's about finding who's going to be playing well and stuff like that. We've got new guys coming in. We need to see them playing,
What do you think of this Joey Veerman rumour that's going around?
It's carrying in the legs, mate, but my own view is I don't believe it till I see him standing with his scarf at Okinawa,
Mm-hmm. Well, the story about it is it 7 million or something like that? Apparently,
it's carrying in the legs. It's
quite incredible. Quite incredible.
It's in the paper, and midfielder. It would sort of suggest to a lot of people, Bridge, if we're signing somebody like that, it would suggest that somebody for the midfield is maybe getting out the door.
Well, this is the thing, and we spoke about this, the maybes within it. And of course, the midfielder that could be getting out the door could be, what's his name? I don't know, his mate. Just was I going to say his name there, Glenn Kamara. So, somebody of that value, that's quite incredible. If we get that for $7 million, that's superb. Because he's allegedly a very good player. Obviously, I don't know, but just going with what I read, you know. Follow like him.
Well, see, we're linked to loads of players, Big Steve, here constantly.
Oh, we're linked to everybody, you know. That's the way that's just we're a big club, you know, and we're going to be linked to everybody. But this the boy we're talking about for Heerenveen there, I've watched obviously just the same as soon as you hear a name, you're on the YouTube and you're watching it. But the boy's technically gifted. He can score goals, he can pick a pass. To me, he's probably more forward thinking than Glenn Kamara, if that was going to be the change. But for me, I think we can get a lot more out of Glenn Kamara. I hope he does the go, I really do. I hope he stays, because I'll tell you what, the boy's got legs. He's a Rolls Royce. He keeps going. He's got some engine. And I just think he'll get better and better and more experienced as well as he goes. And I hope they keep him.
Yep, talking about guys who've got legs and got some engine. We've been joined by Rudy Bear. How are we doing, Rudy?
Evening, Oxtail. How you doing? How you doing, Stevie? Bridgeman? I hope you're well, guys.
Kidding on, Rudy Bear. How are you, pal?
I'm very good, very good. Thanks, Bridgeman. Yourself?
We don't usually get you on in barbecue season.
That's quite incredible. What did you have for your dinner tonight? Speaking about barbecue, what did you have for dinner tonight?
I had a nice roast chicken and chips tonight, Bridgeman. Roast chicken and chips. I had some nice breaded mushrooms to go along with it, and I had a nice wee garlic meal. It was lovely.
Was it bought in?
Was it? Oh no, it was all made by Mrs. Rudy's kind hands.
I love it.
So it was very nice.
Rudy.
Aye.
Rudy, Big Tom Stolman's got into my Rangers tap because you've not been on. I've been Big Tom Stolman's wearing my Rangers tap now.
Hey, he's a big lad as well, isn't he, Stevie, you know?
Dearie me. I wouldn't fancy emptying his pole when he was away.
You must have some size of fridge in the house, that boy, man. Bloody hell. He's a big guy, yeah. I heard you talking about that boy, Joey Veerman there. I've had a wee look at him, Ox. I tell you, he looks a bit tasty on his feet, that boy does. There's certainly some interest in Europe, and it's apparently down south in him as well. You know, I think that would be a bit of a coup if that was the case. But I'm like you, Ox. I just heard you saying you don't get worked up or excited about signings till you actually see them at the club, at the training centre with the scarf above. Like me, I'm like that and all, because we're linked with that many players. I mean, this Origi thing now is starting to gather a bit of legs apparently. That's not going to happen. I just don't see that happening, you know. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't mind if it did, but I don't see that happening, you know. But the Joey Veerman thing seems to be gathering a bit of pace now. And I'm a bit like Stevie. I'd like Glenn Kamara to stay, because I think he's a Rolls Royce player as well. But I think, you know, for a player that you brought in for 50 grand, Ox, if you're talking about somewhere, I don't know, 12, 15 million for him, maybe more, you're going to take that, aren't you? You have to, because it would be crazy, naughty, you know?
Also, if the player wants to go, mate, that's a big thing for me.
Yeah. I mean, we discussed that ages ago, didn't we? One night we were talking about if players wanted to go. What is the point in keeping an unhappy player, no matter how good they are? There is absolutely no point. It's not that. They also maybe unsettled, you know, with their negative attitude could unsettle a happy dressing room and that as well, Ox, you know. So, yeah, I mean, Glenn Kamara, he's done well for us. He's done exceptionally well. He's had some great European performances last season. He's part of, a championship winning side now. And, and if the boy moves on for a big wad of cash that we can use to bring in other players, then best wishes to the boy if he wants to go elsewhere. If he wants to try his hand in the Premier League or Spain or Germany or wherever he happens to go to, he'll go with my best wishes, Ox, he real well.
These boys will always be remembered fondly, mate, for what they've done. I would like I'm being a bit greedy here. I would like him to stay playing the Champions League, and and I would also like to bring this boy in midfield with maybe another couple. But we'll see. We'll see. And obviously, if they can get us the league this year and get into the Champions League this year, the financial profile of the club goes up substantially.
I said to you at the end of last season, Ox, right, okay, we've got a 55th title in the bag now. For me, we're truly back when we hear that Champions League music played at Ibrox, Ox. I said it on several occasions, and that for me is when we're truly back. That's where we deserve to be. That's where we should be for the size of club that we are. And hopefully, it's this season, Ox, we hear that, But you're right. But as you said, if they want to go, if they really do, I mean, it's still no sure, but Connor Goldson's story is he's no put his name to an extension on his contract or anything. But look, see if Connor Goldson wants to go, Ox, he goes with my best wishes. He's part of a championship winning side. He's had some exceptional performances in Europe. If he'd like to go down south and try his hand down there, you can't really blame the guy, Ox, can you? You know what I mean?
Oxter.
Yes, mate.
So what we've got to remember is to see all the players that maybe be looking to go elsewhere or whatever. If Rangers, if they're staying playing the Champions League and they have and we do all right in it, the value of these players rocket. The value of the players would rocket through the roof. Because guys like Kamara, if he plays the Champions League and he's playing great against the top teams, then other teams are going to look at him and pay serious money for him. Whether if you let him go to now, you might only get 10 or 12 million. But if he plays the Champions League and he plays well the way he has been playing, I reckon you're putting him right in the shot one day. You'll get a lot more for them.
I also think, Stevie, that you have to, at this point, and I'll look at their performances in the Europa League last season. I mean, I'm sure there's 4 or 5 Rangers players that would have piqued some interest, not just down south, but across Europe. They'll have been looking at some of the defensive performances like.
All right, Rudy, if you don't mind, I'll cut across you because this is a first for us. Believe it or not, we've been joined by Idris. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Who's an Arsenal supporter? Evening, mate. How you doing?
Hi there. Good evening. Just calling all the way from London.
All right,
First
mate.
of all, I'd like to just give you guys props for the show. I think it's great that if people get to call in and have their say and things of that nature. So props to you guys. I think you guys are doing a good job.
Thanks very much, mate. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. What's your thoughts on tomorrow's game and obviously the history between the two clubs, mate?
You know what? One thing that, I'm not too convinced as an Arsenal fan about tomorrow, how, our chances, because, as you know, we already went to Hibs and we didn't do great over there. And I just believe that the morale in the Arsenal camp right now, it seems like it's there for their opponents to take advantage of. Mikel Arteta would definitely want to, get a victory. He's not been back. He said he's not been back since he's been there. So that'll be something. That'll be a personal agenda for him to get a good result. But I know Rangers last season were just on fire, and I feel like I think tomorrow's match will actually tell a lot for both teams. I mean, I don't think you could pick a better pre-season match for Arsenal and Rangers because, Rangers are facing a top club in the Premiership that are having their, slight problems at the moment. And it just goes to show if they can beat them that, they can handle the pressure of just, taking advantage of teams that are, not going through a good spell, and that is what champions are made of. Mm-hmm. And with Arsenal, it'd be good for us to face a good team in absolutely, top form. And just like last season in the Scottish Premier League, you guys just the run you guys was on was just unheard of, and I feel like it'd just be a really. The game tomorrow is a pre-season, but I do believe Arteta will be taking it very more serious than any other pre-season because it means more than it's a pre-season, to both teams. I mean, it's really Gerrard versus Arteta kind of thing tomorrow.
Yeah. Obviously, Gerrard and Arteta faced each other in the midfield a lot, but also a big connection between the two clubs, and one of the reasons we're glad to see Arsenal. We played Arsenal in my centenary season. Just beat us 2-1 at Ibrox, and then our 150th year. That 150th year, and Arsenal have came again. So they were one of the teams that the majority of the support wanted to see because of the historic ties. I don't think the results are important tomorrow. It's Arsenal are 3 weeks away for the start of their season. We're 2 weeks away. We're slowly building up. Hopefully, we'll see a decent game of football.
For Arteta, we faced Hibs a few days ago, and till now, it's not being talked. It's still the talk of the town, and people are not letting go of that at all. So for him, he's really looking at it. He's not looking at just a pre-season game. He knows there's more riding to it, and I've never seen a pre-season game for Arsenal that's ever meant anything to a manager as importantly. So he'll be out to try and make a point for the sake of Arsenal Football Club and himself. So, and I feel like Gerrard really knows that, and he'd do everything to just stop that, and just bring that.
Listen, if you go for form and you're only as good as your last game, we weren't great in our last game, mate.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the team will be really, up for an Arsenal game tomorrow. I mean,
yes, and also
because you guys are in the Champions League, and it probably gauge how competitive, certain players will be at a certain level. And it was good chatting to you guys as well. Hopefully, if you're not doing the show afterwards, you give a call in or something. And
all right, well, we'll not be back on till Monday evening, mate. But you're welcome to phone in. It was really great to engage your thoughts on the game.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for taking the time, Andres.
No worries, mate. No worries. Keep doing what you're doing.
Speak to you soon. Cheers, mate. There you go.
Oh, she never asked him the real question. Does he get any spare for tomorrow?
You can't skip in unless you've got high vis on, mate.
That was absolutely brilliant. The boy phoning in. Excellent stuff. And he's telling
Stevie's got lots of high vis. Don't worry about that. He's got lots of high vis.
If there was a band playing, you could carry the drum in tomorrow.
Brilliant. Listen, Eric, there. Arteta's going to take this serious tomorrow. He can't afford not to. You heard what the boy was saying, the Arsenal fan was saying. It means a lot for them to start winning, So
he's under a bit of peer terror.
Aye, definitely. He is,
I don't think they were expecting to go to Hibs and lose 2-1, So I think some of the stuff apparently that's been written down south about him, down in the papers, down in London, some of the stuff I think his jacket's on a wee bit of a sugar.
He's no under as much pee as Joe Mango is he?
I heard the Arsenal goalie made a few blunders, mate, to help Hibs on their way. So I did.
Is that right? I never seen any of
that. Aye.
Right, okay. I saw the result. I was actually quite surprised by the result. But, it's pre-season games and it's pre-season friendly, so these things crop up. I mean, I wasn't too bothered about the 1-0 defeat to Tranmere either, Ox, to be honest, because it's one of the games where you're chucking players on and pulling 5 of them off again and all the rest of it. It's a bit like, just go on and play a bit of football. So Stevie says it, they're getting minutes into your legs, in the run up to the game against Livingston. That's the one that matters, isn't it, when the league season kicks off, you know what I mean? So I wasn't too bothered about that.
Well, you boys, get yourself a mute. We're going to have a tune.
The broad Pacific shore, I sailed around the stormy capes and I've heard the 44. I've flying the Indian Ocean, I've sailed the China Sea, but never see back home in Scotland more than all the rest of me. It's the blue, blue sea of my drum. It's the biggest sight that I have ever seen. It's the 17, no more I'll ever roam. No more I'll feel the urge again. I'm back where I belong. And 3 o'clock each Saturday I'll join the mighty throng. With flags and banners all around, I'll proudly sing this song. It's the blue, blue, blue seal of my dog. It's the cleanest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue, blue, blue seal of my dog. And if my thumb is really clear too. It's the blue, blue, blue seal of my dog. It's the cleanest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue, blue, blue seal of my dog. And if my thumb is really clear too. And if my thumb is really clear too.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Oh, right on cue, we've been joined by my big mucker, Big Andy Fairbairn. How we doing, big man?
How you doing, Trips? All right. Nice to hear you're on fine fettle anyway. You're on fine fettle anyway. That's good.
Missed you, big man. How you doing?
Well, sir, everybody survived at 55, aye.
Well,
good.
I got a new liver just the once, mate.
I was just saying, I've had 3 livers. I mean, well, that's 2 days. No, it's good to hear every good health. That's the main thing, isn't it? Good to hear you. Good to hear your tones. That's good. I had a wee listen there, Nick, there, and I see that. I'm still for 3 weeks. Another week to go, so I'm heading due to Newcastle on Monday, so Sunday anyway. So then I'll cut across to Blackpool. Mrs. Anderson didn't think she's gone there yet enough. We're going to Newcastle for 3 days. That'll be a wee surprise. That'll be a wee surprise for her. I said, "We're going to Blackpool for the day ahead." Oh, that'd be nice then. She'll ken now. Once we're in the pub, she'll ken that. The boys, she's travelling with his Selby's pals. So, aye, so he's all keeping every day fine fettle, aye.
Good, mate. Good, Bridge, man. When you come, Bridge.
I'm doing very, very well, Andy. How are you?
You're sounding well, Bridge, man. You're sounding well, son. You're sounding well.
That's a compliment indeed. So thank you very much. The only thing I'm disgusted, I never got a ticket for the Arsenal game.
Absolutely. Oh, no. Well, we'll get one for the Real Madrid game. That's the main thing.
Well, that's a biggie.
Aye. I get a new train top there. I had to get another X onto it. You know what I mean? Another X onto my train top. Aye.
I love it.
The three on the panel we made in the night. Tom Stoughton went to go to stretch your tops for us to get.
Oh, you see him? I seen him today. Aye. Oh, I seen it. He must have the 4. He must have the Castle. He must have the Australian one. Castlemaine 4X. I'm one below him. I'm not bad. You know what I mean?
Are you looking forward to the season, Andy?
Oh, I can't wait. Aye. Oh, it's brilliant. The wee club's open today now, so that's us. Everyone's hunky dory. We Irvine club's open. I opened a week on Tuesday. It was 2 weeks this Tuesday for opened. So, aye, it's doing well. There's a waiting list for members, but it's all right. So it's just a quick to get in if you're not a member. But hopefully after Monday we'll get more in. I mean, they get about another 20 now, but once the Hingley's by, we'll get more in. I mean,
tell the boys to come on here and we'll get a show.
Aye, I will. I'm going to go down tomorrow after the Faba to see the boys, and then I'm away. I'm away for 3 days to Newcastle. Well, 4 days because I've been back to Blackpool, but she'll not get that till we're there. I mean,
she might get it now that you've told the world that, Stevie.
No, she's in having a wee. She's having a carbon super thing. She'll not get that for me. She didn't coughing her lungs out. And she said, I've been sitting in the sun all day. It's been brilliant. So I went a wee bike run with the all day. So that was us. So I'm trying to get myself fit. But no, I've been out for 2 weeks there. That's another week to go. So Happy days. I hope we get another couple of signings. That's what I'm going about. Hopefully we'll get another couple of boys in.
What positions do we need for you, big man?
I reckon midfield, and I think we need. Well, I think we need a couple of good midfielders, but I say that we go for Sheffield United. Another one for a backup for him, because I think this will be Davis' last season. This season, I mean, Defoe, so I reckon 2 or 3 players will do this, because I think we're going to lose a couple. And I don't think everybody's going to sign on. And maybe Kamara or somebody will go. Well, I think one of them will go anyway. We Alfie, you know what I mean? So I can't see his. Sorry, pal, when you go.
No, carry on, Andy.
I can't see his holding on to them all. See, you know what I mean? Everybody. I'd love to hang on to them all and add a few. But I think there'll be at least 1 or 2 for big players will go. You know what I mean? Whether it's Aribo, Kamara, Alfie, you know what I mean? A big Highlander, you know what I mean?
Stevie,
the big Katic, he's looking well. He's looking well. He's a big Tom, you know what I mean? He'll be the strongest man in the world next year, the size of him. You know what I mean?
Aye. You come back.
No, Sam, did you guess? No, see, we were talking about the floodlight game with Arsenal. Did you guess the year? Or was it just a punt you had on it?
It was a punt. I think 50-51. I'll go for 51.
You're correct. 1951-52 season. Wednesday, the 17th October, 1951. Would you like the team, Ox?
Oh, do you want me to guess that or not?
Oh, no.
Get it out, Stevie. Get it out.
The only one that maybe get it is Bridge.
No, you carry on telling us. We'll say a big cheer for them.
By the way, what a team it is today. By the way, my dad used to play with some of these guys, and it must have been his dad told him about them. Brown, Young, Little, McCall, Woodburn, Cox, Waddle, Finlay, Thornton up front, Johnson and Rutherford. By the way, some names there. Woodburn, Young.
Was that more Derek Johnson?
Aye, brilliant. 1951, unbelievable, and that's the floodlight souvenir programme for the Arsenal game. I knew I had it, Ox. I gave you the wrong one the first time, so I've corrected myself. By the way, what was the score of that game, guys? Can any of you tell us?
Oh, I think Rangers won the floodlight game. I'm going to say 3-2 or something to Rangers.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I don't know what the score is.
I'll have a look, mate. I'll see if I can find out. Andy, big game tomorrow, Arsenal. They cropped up a lot in their history, didn't they?
Aye. Oh, I've been to a few games, Arsenal games. They've done well. And I see that Swine selling the shares to. I don't know what the score is. Did we get them back, or
No,
we lost them.
No, actually,
we helped him. I remember we helped him out. Aye. That's fine. I mean,
no.
No, I mean, I think I was at there's one. I'm sure I was doing a tournament that we played Arsenal doing it at the Emirates. I don't know if it was Emirates at the time.
That was 2008, just after Manchester.
Aye, because I remember doing that one, and the first one, the London one, was when Swedish signed we doing to Tottenham.
Oh, I remember that, mate.
That was brilliant.
1986.
Aye, what was it doing? I think we was. In fact, it was that. I mean, I don't usually remember that crew start. Prince Andrew was going with that crew start. We see her doing it. So we were shouting.
Only because I chucked her, mate.
Aye, I thought that. She said that. She said that. Aye, she shouted. I've seen chucked the ox there. No, we seen her. We seen her doing it. We were brilliant. Aye. Oh, she better get better par for next year. I mean, the par the same. You know what I mean? Same as mine. Aye. No, Crew Starks, we've seen her. There's a Swadi's doing, we're doing, I think we stayed 2 next year. In fact, my brother-in-law, ex-brother-in-law, he's got a pub doing in Tottenham. Now, so he's always asking us doing to get in. He says, come down and see a couple of games. Because his daughter works in the Tottenham Grid. She's one of the big boats she's in there.
Right.
I know, it was good. That was 86. But I remember doing it at Arsenal. think we did all right that tournament. I'm sure we did all right.
We go to the final against Arsenal, and I think they beat us 2-0 or something.
Aye, that's right. I can't
everybody was talking about Jack Wilshere after it, wasn't he? That boy.
That's right. Wilshere was a star man. That's right. Aye. And then I think we got rid of him there. I'm glad we didn't sign him anyway, because he's away from Bournemouth.
Can I just put a wee shout out before I come back to you, Andy? I said Zimbabwe earlier on. It's actually a Zambia. Sorry, Fashion Sakalas with Zambia, Bridgeman, and Zambia's first language, I believe, is English, but I got my Z's mixed up.
That was Northern Rhodesia, Zambia.
Right, okay, mate. Aye, but Rhodesia's not there anymore, Bridge.
No, but you had Zambia and then Zimbabwe.
Right, okay, mate. All right. And it was, according to Fox, I've not found it yet, but it was 3-2 the floodlight game when we beat them, when we opened our floodlights. So, great history between the two clubs, Andy.
Oh, aye, good. And also, I mean, Arteta, because we used to sit in the tickets for it was a family section in the main stand years ago, and Arteta was playing. I mean, he wasn't playing, he was sitting next to us, and I think my daughter said, "You look like somebody out of EastEnders," and him in the dug, and he looked at her as if she'd told him. What are you talking about? This was years ago. I forget his name now. She goes, "You look like hanging with EastEnders." Your Stacey was only about 5 years old or something. She said, "Oh, aye," and he just looking at her. But I remember I went to, maybe from Babylon, you could cut it off, but I was over in the Samuel Sheik one year, and I was talking to a boy that did the chauffeur driving, the big chauffeurs. It was Frank de Boer, Ronald de Boer, and Arteta was out. I don't know if he married the lads or no, but Arteta was going to miss Spain at the time, and they went to they were out.
Once again, after I had chucked on it.
Aye, Christ, my above you had. Anyway, I'll keep it clean. So anyway, this guy Davey says that the girls need to go to the toilet. Davey, this is Davey the chauffeur guy I met in Samuel Sheik. So it was Ronald de Boer, Arteta, and the two women in the thing. So he said, "I'll take you into the hospitality in Glasgow." So he was turning the limo, the big limo. He was turning the limo around. The lassie jumped out and had a thing with the cord back. He says, "I had him in the headlights." He said, "You can't be there." He said, "The toilet's inside." So that was, I don't know if it's true or no, but that's what he told us, isn't it? That was my Arteta. But I might have eaten the Fairland game. That was good. Because I think, even if they missed the penalty, I think we still won. I think we still won the league because we scored more goals. But that just put the tin pot in it.
It took the pressure off everybody.
Aye, because I think if they finished 5-1, and we'd have still won, but it was just because we'd scored one more goal in them. But you say take the pressure off. Because one of the boys, my son's pal, we'd managed to get him a ticket, and he sat aside, he was asking me, "Have we won the league yet?" I said, no yet, son. Have we won the league yet? He was like, "Have we gone to Black? We're nearly there yet, one Aikenheim." I said, "No yet." I said, "Right, you can jump up and down now, son. That's you, 6-1, jump up and down." and Sutton did it well that day, didn't he? Sutton, he was really kidding. He was dead fair that day. He was a bit of class that day, didn't he? I was really doing it well. I mean, he's still going on about it yet. I mean,
talking about touch of classes, we've been joined by David for Cumbernauld. Good evening, David.
Evening, everybody.
Hi, David.
Hi, guys. I just wanted to have a wee point with you about the capacity issues. It seems to be that we're not going to get many people in near the beginning of the season. I think it's an absolute sin. You think of the amount of people that went into Handham during the Euros, all the people that were there at the Eurozones and everything, but it seems to be handled with two different hands. I think it's absolutely disgraceful, as well as all the people with season tickets and all the people that might be going to see the Rangers for the first time, you know what I mean? I want to take my wee brother to go see the Rangers for his first time. He's just at the age where I can take him now. We still can't go. It's been 2 years now and we still can't go, and I think it's atrocious we're only getting 2,000 people in.
I don't disagree with you when you look at, I think the golf's getting 38,000 per day. The Grand Prix got, I think, 120,000 on Sunday. Wimbledon at 20,000, Wembley at 67,000. I thought that the Scottish National Party had told us that they'd eradicated COVID for Scotland, but obviously they got it wrong. Well, a lot of other things, but I don't think this is the time or the place to go into politics too much. David, But I understand your frustrations, and I think we all feel the same. Would that be fair, Stevie?
100%. Listen, we really are all frustrated. I mean, I can only agree with him. I can only agree with everything you said there, Ox. All these places all over the world, and they've got big crowds and events, and we come to Glasgow. Even Glasgow Green had a fan zone with 6,000 people in it. Hampden had 12,000 euros, and we're getting hit with that. You know, we're just pulling the hair out of our head. I'm going to tell you a wee quick true story here. I got 2 new season tickets last year for me and my boy, and I've just renewed them again, and I haven't even sat on the seats yet. Nearly 2 years. I haven't even sat on the seats. Yet you look around what's going on elsewhere, and the people that are running this country are just backwards. I don't even want to get into it. I can see why everybody's frustrated. I really can. And listen, we're just, this country is just hating themselves to death, and they're eating themselves from the inside out, and they don't promote nothing right. They've just not got a brain among them, and until they stop hating themselves to death, we're never going to get it right in this country. It's a disgrace.
All right, thanks for that, big man. Anything else, David, before we go back to Big Andy? Any football related, mate?
I just wanted to say I liked the look at all these interviews. The Fashion Chakalas officially came in, and that's him. He's done all his interviews and everything, so it'll be interesting to see what he brings to the team.
Obviously, we played Fashion's interview at the start of the show, David. He came across as a very humble, a very proud man, and obviously he's looking forward to the challenge. And only time will tell, Big Andy, whether a new signing is a success or no. And then Rudy.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. The boy's turned it quite good, and he's looking forward to playing for us, obviously. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll hit the ground running. You know what I mean? That's what we're needing. So hopefully, we'll get it sorted. The Tranmere game is one of the games. So you see, one. It was like the Hamilton game. I mean, there's one chance and he scored. So I think so. I'm looking forward. I can't wait. I can't wait to the season starts. You know what I mean? It's like, I've been waiting for Christmas, but no, it's been a long break off. And watching the Euros right enough. I fancied the Italians to start with. I wish I'd stuck a terror in to start with, but then there you go. I mean, so I'm looking forward to see the boys in the flesh. You know what I mean? He actually getting into his big Stevie says, Christ, I need to in a seat for a year. You know what I mean? He's actually physically seeing the team. You know what I mean?
That'll be emotional.
So hopefully, it will be. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the time the old fun comes round, we'll be enough back to capacity. But you don't get nippy, you know, make sure you're going to. You know what I mean? But, I mean,
Rudy, you'd be all right to go in, wouldn't you, Rudy? You've had your 3 Jags.
Are you calling me 3 Jags, are you?
I've had 2 Jags, one for Frank Bruno, one for Mike Tyson.
As far as Sakala goes, he comes across really well. I liked in his interview when he was talking about he's here to learn for Steven Gerrard and Jermaine Defoe and guys like that, you know. The boy's obviously totally up for it. I'm really excited about him. I think he's going to do really well for us in Scotland. I think he'll do really well for us. But you've often said it, Ox, it doesn't matter who they are, you know what I mean? It's every signing's a gamble. So you've just got to wait and see how well the boy does, you know. But the way he's talking now, he's talking like he's got the hunger to progress. He's wanting to learn. He's saying he wants to get better not just as a player, you know, but as a man as well. He was saying, you know, and he'll get all that stuff off of Steven Gerrard, you know, Gary McAllister and the coaching staff behind the scenes at Ibrox. He'll get all that. So I'm really excited to see this boy playing. You know, I really am. I think he's going to be something else, but. What do I know about football? I'm sitting here at my kitchen table talking to you, you know. You know. Can I touch on the only allowing 2,000? I'm not going to make any political statements here because I think I've probably made it obvious in the past what I think about the government of this country. 2,000 in a 50,000 seater stadium is an absolute disgrace, Ox. There's no other way. Aberdeen have just had they've just applied to the council up in Aberdeenshire. They've managed, I think it's about 5,500 they're getting in now. Mm-hmm. Fair play to them. As much as I despise them as a club, Ox, fair play to them.
It'll be interesting to see what numbers we get for next weekend, because obviously the rules change as of Monday.
Aye. So let's wait and see. But but to talk about science, the science of the whole thing, and then say if you've got a 5,000 capacity stadium or a 50,000 capacity stadium, you're allowed 2,000 people in either stadium. It's just nonsensical to me. You know what I mean? Had they done it as a percentage, a capacity, that would have been a much better way of doing it, But to say, regardless of what size your stadium is, you get 2,000 in. I mean, all the bears that bought all these season tickets last season and this season, they've no clue when they're going to get. They didn't get in last season. They've no clue when they'll get in this season to watch Rangers, and and it
we'll have a better idea how things are going to come this week. Anyway, we've also been joined by Jordan. Evening, Jordan.
Hi, fellas. Long time no speak. How you been?
All right, mate. You?
Good stuff.
Nice to hear you, Jordan. Nice to hear you.
Nice to see you, panel. Bridgman, how are you?
I'm great, pal. Thanks very much. Hope you're good.
Good stuff. Obviously, just been kind of bored by all the nonsensical fitbits that's been going on. Watched the Euros, but I really just wanted to. Good to see you all again. But I was going to say, presuming that nothing else happens during the transfer window, what would your kind of starting team be for your sort of regular team be for the start of the season, and so on and so on?
Are we assuming that everybody's fit, Jordan? Yeah?
Aye.
Everybody's fit. All right, okay. I'll give you mine quickly. My starting 11 would be Alan McGregor, James Tavernier, Connor Goldson, Philip Hollander, Borna Barisic. If everybody's fit, at the moment, I would have Ryan Jack, if he's fit, and it's enough. Ryan Jack, Stephen Davis, Glenn Kamara, with Joe Aribo, Alfredo Morelos, and Ryan Kent. That would be my starting 11. Stevie, and then Rudy.
I think very much the same. Very much the same for me. Yeah, if everybody was fit, that would be very much my team. Only maybe change I wouldn't even change Aribo for the new boy. But no, that would be my team box. I can't.
As we sit today, somebody, Rudy Bear and then Bridge.
I can't argue with you, because I think as it stands at the moment, we've brought some new signings in, and there may be another couple still to come in by the time the window's done with. I can't argue with you, because I think if I was picking the team tomorrow against Arsenal, that's probably what I would go with, in all honesty. It's certainly the start.
I'm assuming a lot there that everybody's fit and all that.
Aye, of course, aye. I mean, and as far as the first game of the season goes against Livingston, that would be my starting 11 as it stands. Aye, I can't argue with you.
Okay. All right, Andy, then Bridgman.
Definitely, I agree with the boys and yourself. Definitely, I start that team because you know you're getting with that team, and if everybody's fit, you can't descamble and put a couple of new boys in for Sheffield United and this one and that one. Start with a team that didn't well that last year. Start that off there, and then you can make the changes as the game goes on. You're up 2 or 3-9, you can put a couple of boys in. But it definitely helps. You're on the ball there, I think. Okay.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Bridgman.
Yeah, I have to agree with everybody. And the team you read out is as good as any we can pick ourselves, if not the exact same. So I would go with that. I would definitely go with that. No, it's fair. That's fair.
Just assuming a lot, again, everybody's fit. The bench would be pretty tasty. Stevie, yeah?
Well, that's it. I mean, listen, if we get all these subs to play tomorrow, can I ask that? Is that a case of...
Man, loads of subs tomorrow, aye.
That's good. Let's get more players on, get more minutes into legs again. But what can we say? That's roughly the team you'd pick, wouldn't it? Give or take injuries and stuff, you'd bring people in and out. I mean, you wouldn't change much at all.
Well, what about you, Jordan?
Aye, pretty much the same sort of opinion. I just really want to see, what the new boys are like.
Aye.
Forget his boy Joey Veerman for Heerenveen. And really just to see, overall, assess what we've been like through the transfer window, and, just taking a vision to say, do we need any more signings? I think there's maybe still 2 or 3 definitely required, but nothing compared to what's happened in East End and Glasgow now. Nothing compared to that. But I'm really looking forward to the season. I think got a lot of good feeling. And I don't just think it'll be a one-season wonder with the league again. I think I'm more than confident we'll win at least one cup this season. I don't want to, well, I want to envision a nice wee treble, but, you know, if we can get the league in at least one cup, I'll be absolutely delighted with that.
Yes, mate. Yes, mate.
Can I flip a hat in the ring and say this? See if we never signed anybody this season and we went with what we had last year, bearing in mind we won the league with 25 points and we absolutely destroyed the other mob across the road, I would be pretty confident of winning a league with no strengthening. And
remember that we brought in the boy Simpson, gave him a few games. He's not really impressed me, but we brought him in time will tell. We brought in Scott Wright. We brought in Damdy for Bournemouth as well. We brought in Fashion Sakala. We've no stood still.
No. You know the better never stops.
You're right. Better never stops. Was that Jordan there?
I think we've conducted ourselves in the right way, and I'm more than convinced that what they've done across the East End is that's about at least 2 weeks, or over 2 weeks before the season starts, and all of a sudden all these signs are coming out of nowhere. So I'm convinced that Angie has no got a clue. Is basically signing a load of garbage at the end of the day, because I don't even know. They're putting this Japanese boy that's came to be the next Iniesta. They said that about Shane Duffy, and look what happened. So I'm not convinced all these you know, Russian signings into the park he's going to be doing any wonders for them.
They're running about panic buying, Jordan. That's what they're doing. They've got this Joe
Mango at his best. Rudy, Joe Mango at his
Joe Mango at his best. I actually thought Joe Mango was really funny. But they're running about.
That's what they've got in common, mate.
I know. They're running about panic buying, Jordan. That's what they're doing. Ox. They're panic buying like mad now because they haven't bothered today into the last few weeks. Now they've got a European tie coming up and they're just splashing the cash, panic buying, you know. But Jordan's right, I know we've conducted ourselves really well, Ox. You mentioned about Scott Wright coming in earlier. That was a good move, getting Scott Wright in. You know, the boy Namdi Offerbor's in. You know, we're making our couple of signings before the end of the window. And Stevie's right. You know, see, you had to pitch up the team that we had last season against anything that's going to be in the Scottish Premier League this season. I'd be happy to go with that as well. Even if we never brought another signing in now as it stands, I'd be happy to go with that too. 25 points, Ox, is a huge gap to try and make up for them, you know. And the difference between us and them is we've got the pressure off us now, but simply because we've won the league title now. It's there, it's in the bag, we've got it. It's sitting at Ibrox in the trophy room right now. So we've got that pressure.
Rudy, let's not forget the 20-odd goals as well. That was as good as another point, no?
Yep, and the record clean sheets, mate. The record clean sheets as well, and everything that went with it. The fact we only lost 13 goals in the whole season, which is a British record taken off of Chelsea. You know, so you're right, Steve. If we had to go with the same team, I'd be more than happy to go with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
You don't think it's imperative to still go for a bit more trophies this season? Like, obviously, the league guys are the main important thing.
I'll tell you something, Jordan, and I'm going to go to Big Andy with this because he's the wisest man on here after this. If you gave me that we qualified for the Champions League, competed in the 6 games in it, got 4 points, and got into the Europa League, and went a stage further in the Europa League than we done last year, didn't he win the 2 cups and win the league? I would snap your hand off for it now. Andy?
I would snap your hand off right now for that, Ox. Definitely. 100%. 100% snap your hand off. See, the money you can make for the Champions League qualifiers, they're talking about 30 million quid to qualify. Then you say you do all right. In the worst case scenario is you're back in the Europa first couple of games and get to the last 8. Oh, the cups are just bonuses to me. As long as you win the league and I get run in Europe, I can do that every year. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying I wouldn't like to.
I'm not saying win it. I love to win the cups too, Talks. You know what
I mean? Stevie?
What to say, financially it's a no-brainer, isn't it? You know, but you're always looking to win the cups or not. Look, we're Rangers. We're looking to win everything we get into. Everything we get into. Realistically, we're probably punching above our weight in the Champions League. Are we a Europa League team now? We're established Europa League team now, so you're looking maybe to further yourself in that. You know, you're maybe not as punching above your weight as what you have done the last few years, but it's got a no-brainer when it comes to finances. That's a no-brainer. If that's how the season panned out, I would be quite happy, aye.
Rudy?
If that's how the season panned out, like you're selling, Stevie, I'd be absolutely delighted. Ox. I think the money that can be brought in the European football is just absolutely huge. And for the club, it's the only way we move forward, Ox, is regular European football, hopefully Champions League. That's where the big money is, the real big bucks is. In order to see better staff, better players on the park, we need European football. It's as simple as that. And as I say, preferably Champions League. If you gave me that the new Ox and told me we were going to, I don't know, say St Johnstone was going to lift a cup and Aberdeen was going to lift the League Cup or something like that, I'd give them it just as long as we got a good run in European football and the league title again. Because nothing to me, Ox, is more important than the league title. And I'm sure most players think that anyway.
Aye. I think Jordan was saying that as well. But
I totally agree with him then. Aye. The league title, Ox, is that's everything. So it's always will be.
Bridgeman?
Yeah, obviously I would hope that we improve on what we got last season. We'll get quite a distance, points-wise, we're quite a distance ahead of them. So that's a good chance that we'll get a really good foundation there. If we can retain the key players that we had, the Goldsons, and I don't know what's going to happen with the other players, whether they're going to transfer a bundle out. I hope that doesn't happen. If we can retain the strength from last season, then I really do hope that we'll go in and do better. So I would really hope we could win the league. And as the boys said earlier, at least one of the cups. We've got a great chance if we can retain our staff. We can train the play.
And you come, Jordan?
Here, boys. I think obviously last season was fantastic getting the league, but obviously people the doubters and the people that hate us call us one season wonders. So I think if we went even more successful this season than we did last season, especially winning the league and done it again by a significant amount of points, then the good thing is that will establish us as the best team in Scotland, hands down. And even them across the road won't be able to disagree with that. To be fair, if I'm being honest.
I think we're favourites. I think the bookies have got us as favourites.
Aye.
Wrong, you know. They're not usually wrong, but aye, good point, mate. I mean, listen, I want to win every competition, man, and I want to win the Champions League, but I'm being realistic there, Andy.
No, you definitely are. Listen, see we can maintain our standard we had last year, go undefeated, okay. Keep the core of our team. I reckon we'll lose two. I honestly think we'll lose two of stars for last year. But we can keep the mainstay of our team for last year, and then the players we brought in, the signings we've done are good, and get rid of the sort of fringe players, your Jones and your Barker and all them. And then the players that have got on the bench are game changers. So you've got 9 players on the bench that can change a game for you. So you've got a good squad of maybe 20, 25 good players. Keep them all happy. Maintain our standards we did last season. I'd be happy. And I think Stevie G is not going to stand still. And the best they can do is, I think the Strachan's boys get a new laptop. That's what their best sign is this year. I think he's got a new laptop. So that with him, I'm not worried about him. You know what I mean? They're not going to cause us any bother whatsoever.
I'm more worried about them, to be honest.
I would probably give a better game than him, you know what I mean?
Aye.
Could he? You know what I mean? Definitely. So if we can keep the core of our team, that's I'm quite happy.
Well, gentlemen, it better never stops for pre-season. We're slowly building up to a full game. We've reached that time of the evening, and I'm going to go over there. I'm going to give you a shout out. I'll go to young Jordan first. On you go, Jordan, and give us a shout out.
Shout out to who, first of all? Shout out to who?
What do you want?
Right. Can I give a shout out to the True Blue Valley crew in Kilburnie, the home team? Shout out to the boys, and I've probably mentioned them before, but a shout out to my pal Greg in Cumbernauld.
Well said, mate, well said. Rudy Bear.
I'm going to give a wee shout out to my son-in-law. He's a fantastic wee bloke. He keeps me up to date. He does all the social media stuff. He's mad about his social media, and he's always sending me links for interviews and links for rumours of signings. Because he thinks I'm a bit of a caveman. He calls me a Luddite, you know. He's probably right. So I'm going to give a wee shout out to Robert. If you're listening, Robert, son, love you to bits, man. Let's enjoy the next season coming up soon.
Ain't that nice?
Well, I swear at my lot as well, though. You know what I mean? So we'll say something nice.
Andy.
Oh yeah, I'll give a shout out to the new Wee Rangers Club. It's just opened 2 weeks ago, and all the Irvine Rangers boys that know me. And a shout out to all you boys in the panel, everybody else. It's good to hear you're all back. Good to hear your voices. Everybody's in fine fettle. And I love this radio show. It's the best show in the world. Okay, take care. Love you a lot.
Thank you, Andy. Big Stevie. Come off a mute, big man. Come on, press your mute button. Come on, Stevie, press your mute button. Oh, we'll need to go to Bridge, man. On you go, Bridge.
Oh, what can I say? It's been, I've really enjoyed it tonight. Very good. Well done, Oxtail and Big Stevie. Well done. And of course, the other guys that joined us. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one is, we're getting closer and closer and closer. We're only a fortnight away from the start of the league. Everybody start getting wound up and keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers are going to need us more than ever. They need to be stronger, and only the fans can help. So keep it going for the Rangers, everybody. Keep it going.
Stevie?
Yeah. Oh, Oxter, I done a Bridge man there. I'm totally flabbergasted at the time. I can't believe it. I had my homework all done with the Rangers in Real Madrid the last time we played them, 1963. I had the team and everything. I was ready to go. But there you go. Time flies when you're enjoying yourself. All I can say is a big thanks to him and his own, and it's good to hear everybody. And come on, the Rangers, Amora. I can only agree with the Bridge man. Come on, the Rangers.
Here, can I thank the boy, the Arsenal supporter who phoned in? I don't know if I pronounced his name right, Arteris. Nice to hear from you, mate. Coming on our team show and speaking and being very complimentary of the club. We appreciate it. Can I thank David for Cumbernauld, who's a regular caller now. Of course, Jordan, but the one and only Big Andy. Always great to hear for the big man. Rudy Bear. He might get that Tom Kitchens restaurant the way things are going. And of course, thanks to Stevie and Bridgeman for joining us on the panel. Fox and Schoolboy for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back on Monday night. We'll be joined at 8 o'clock by the one and only Southside. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. If you've got a ticket tomorrow, make sure you leave nice and early so you get in it again for a 2 o'clock kickoff. Take it away, all Schoolboy.
We are the Rangers FC. We are the people, you better believe. We are together, we're doing the fancy all over the world. We had our troubles, but now they are gone. They tried to kill us, but the Bears we stood strong. We are together, doing the fancy all over the world. Lucia Ibrox for Lancer 3. Follow, and God save the Queen. You'll hear us singing, doing the fancy all over the world. In Barcelona in 72, we beat the Russians by 3-2. Still celebrating, doing the fancy all over the world. Glasgow Rangers are back where we belong. Lucy of Ibrox, and we're still going strong. We wear our colours, the red, white and blue. We wear them proudly like blue noses do. We are together doing the fancy all over the world. The pride of Scotland, but that's nothing new. the pride of Glasgow, and Glasgow is blue. We are together doing the bouncy all over the world. To be a blue nose, it fills us with pride. We are united, we'll never divide. We are together doing the bouncy all over the world. Doing the bouncy all over the world. Doing the bouncy all over the world.